Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you didn't know, now you know. And we have a package from Temu. Alright, so here's what we have. So this is a beauty airbrush system. You guys know airbrushes are super popular right now. So I got one from Temu to see first if it works, and second, how well. Third, is it even safe? And then I got a selection of stencils to go with it, so I'm going to show you those real quick. So first, these are not stencils. These are just the things that go around your finger to protect them, which we're going to use these today. And then I got these because they were Christmas themed. We might be using these. I haven't decided. And then I got some other assorted shapes just for later. These ones are a little bit hard to see if I don't open them, but there are bows and butterflies, more butterflies, hearts, bears, Frenches, stars, 4-pointed stars, hearts and Frenches, crosses and 4-pointed stars, more bears, some cats, stars, moons, fire. And then let's take a look at the airbrush itself. So here's what's in the box. It does have instructions. Pause to read if you would like. And then here's the back side. Pause to read if you would like. And then we have these cleaning brushes, and I guess this might be a stirring stick. And then here are the components. There are a couple different containers. I don't think we're gonna need these giant ones. We're gonna work with this one. And then this has this extension cord here. So if you want to have the airbrush handpiece on a cord and not hold this, that is an option. There's a power cord, and then one of these, what are these called? It's like pipette. Here is the handpiece itself. And then of course the body. Here's the button, here's the charging port, that's where you screw it on. There's a light right here. When you're charging it, it's red, and then when I believe it turns green when it's full. I did already charge this up and see if it worked, and that much it does. So to put it together, you just screw this part on or use the hose. It's snug, but don't force it. Let's listen. So it's 2 speeds and then off. And here is where we're gonna put our liquid in there. But we're gonna come back to this first. We need to put something on here. I did put these extensions on here and paint them white so that whatever we put on top of it is going to be visible. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a glitter, and then when we cover it with airbrush, the glitter will be peeking through. And that sounds pretty cool. Will it work? I don't know. Okay, so here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna use this Nina Ultra Pro Longwear base coat, and I'm gonna paint the nails, and then I'm gonna sprinkle this on into this cupcake liner so I can pour it back. And that's what we're gonna do. And I'm just gonna do each one of them. So I will do this in fast forward so it only takes a second. Okay, so now I've got all this glitter on, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around the edges and just push this on here. Make sure we don't have any overhang, because that's not gonna be cute. It is still wet, so I'm able to do this. And then we'll wanna knock any excess off. And then I have this here, so you can go around the actual cuticles and scrape any of that out that may have gotten in here. So we don't want that to be hanging everywhere. Alright, and then now we're just going to give this some time to dry. You can gently pat in any that seems to be sticking up so you don't have any particularly uneven parts. And after this dries, we're going to seal it in with a builder in a bottle. I've decided I would normally just go over it with top coat and let it be sparkly, but because I am going to put these stencils on top of it. I don't think they will sit right if it isn't super smooth. And you guys know that I am allergic to gel, but I think because I'm just going over all of this with a builder, I'm gonna be able to keep it from getting on me. So we're gonna take a measured risk. And then also there's all these layers between there to protect me, so it shouldn't seep through. Okay, so those have had a little moment to dry. We're gonna take this brush and kind of dust it off. Got glitter all over my little rubber mat here, but that's okay because these things are really easy to clean. You just throw them in the washing machine and run them like a load of laundry. They come clean. At least that's how I do it. All right, what do you think so far? I think these are super, super pretty. Get that one loose. Yeah, we don't need that little star. They're so sparkly. I love it. So we're gonna go in with the Beetles Builder Gel, and I am just gonna be really careful and get this just on top of the nails, not on top of my finger. Alright, let me hold it upside down for a moment, and I forgot to grab a glove. I'll be right back. Alright, I just needed to get one of these so that I could do that. We don't want any to be built up. Alright, so I am going to stick this in the lamp. We'll do one at a time. How's that looking? Pretty cute? I agree, and we'll be able to buff it. So let me do the others. Okay, so I didn't do the best job of not getting it on me. Let's hope I don't suffer some great consequences. But we are gonna go around these edges where it did run off a smidgen. Get that off of there. I don't think there's any on this side, but I just want to make sure. Yeah. This one has a little bit on this side. Okay, so yeah, it only touched me a little bit. That's probably enough to be a problem, but let's hope not, because it wasn't on there super long. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with this buffer and try and smooth all this out. Let me actually wipe it with alcohol first. Don't want to file this sticky. Alright, so yeah, we want to get a smooth surface for our stencils. And then I'll do the rest off camera. Alright, so we've got our buffing done. We're gonna wipe off this dust. What are y'all thinking so far? I think it's looking pretty good. Now we're gonna save the top coat until after we do the decorating because it doesn't really need to be shiny underneath more paint. All right, now it's time to get to the part that you're here for, the Temu airbrush system. If you have not tried an airbrush before, the link for this one will be in the description, as well as my affiliate links and codes. If you don't have Temu already, if you are not one of the millions already using Temu, if you use my link, it will let you sign up and get a $100 coupon pack, which is really great for savings. Temu prices are already outrageously low, and coupons make them even lower. I know I can't help but spend my dollars, but let's give this a shot. First, we're gonna mix up our paint. I'm gonna go with a white. Now, if you're gonna do airbrush, don't use gel. If you aerosolize your gel, you're gonna be breathing that in. So just don't use paint. I have this medicine cup. This is what I'm gonna mix it in. And I find the best way to get it to actually work is gonna be a little bit of acetone to break up the polish and a little bit of alcohol to help it dry. If you do it just alcohol, it doesn't really dissolve the polish enough to make it into a paint. So let's put a little bit of this in here. And then a little bit of this as well, about half and half. Kind of want to work quickly so that your plastic doesn't melt. I would normally do it in my silicone, but it just makes a horrible mess and I can throw this away. Now you do want a decent amount of paint. That way, when it does spray out, it's not completely invisible. I'm gonna use this little stick to stir, and we'll test it and see how opaque it is. All right, let's see if we can see it. I think we need to add a little bit more. They do say on the instructions that it needs to be a water-like consistency, so you don't want it to get thick, but you also don't want it to just be milk. And because I'm using a white, it's gonna take extra effort. If this were a black, it's gonna be easier to cover up all these glitters. All right, so I can see it on the drip. We're gonna stop with that for now. I'm gonna put a couple of these on. Okay, so I put it on these three. These are the ones that I am going to stencil, and then these I'm gonna save for like some hand painting. And I got out these snowflakes. All right, so first we're gonna start with these big ones with the background, because we're gonna make like looking through stencil. Let's take this one. And so when you do something like this, if you end up having a gap, I'm gonna cut this actually because I don't need quite that much. If you end up having a gap between your stencil pieces, let's say you got one up here and you got one down here, you can always cover that in with tape. I wanna make sure it's on there good so you don't have any seeping. Let's go for this one. Actually, let's go for this one down here. It's kind of cute. All right, so I have my stencils on. Let's go ahead and load our paint into here. That ought to be enough for now. We'll put our lid on. And then what I'm gonna do to protect my hand is I'm gonna poke a little hole in this here paper towel, and we're gonna run this through it so that that is covering my actual finger bits. Yeah? That's what I'm gonna do. Seems like a plan to me. And then I'm gonna make sure, again, these are stuck down really well. We don't want no problems. Back this up. All right, so I'm gonna go with the slower mode, and then I'm just going to gently start pulling this thing back. Let's see what happens. You want to kind of keep it moving. Now we need to let that layer dry before we go in with the second layer. It should dry relatively quickly because of the alcohol. Looks like this part's come up. It's trying to ruin my design. I don't appreciate that. I'll check back in a moment. Alright, so that's only been a moment and it's dry. Let's put some more. Alright, and then we'll let that layer dry. It's kind of gray, but that's okay. Another layer. Alright, so that's actually looking pretty good, and it's really taking less than a minute to dry between layers. So after this one dries a little bit, I think we're actually going to peel that off and check it out. I don't have high hopes for this bottom one. It's a bit questionable because there is some gapping. Alright, I think that's dry enough. Let's see about peeling this off. Okay. Not too shabby. Even that bottom one's a little bit alright. Let me get this out of here so that doesn't end up falling in it. That's looking pretty cute. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do this one next, but a little bit different. I'm gonna take some of these and put them on, and we'll have the background being the white. Okay, so I've got those down. Let's start with our layers, and I was not being careful, and I have over there gotten paint on my lamp. Alright, and then we'll let that dry. Alright, I've just had to refill my little container. Let's put some more. We've got about 3 coats on. This will be the 4th, but I just want to get it really nice and opaque before we finish this nail off. You gotta try and get around the edges. Don't forget about those. So I think that looks good. After this dries, we're gonna peel up those stickers. Alright, so it is dry. Let's take this off. See if we can't get these up here. Yes, that's looking cute. It's peeking through. This paint, I hope you can see what I'm doing, it's not too blurry, kind of sits on here looking like snow, which is pretty cool, I think. But it also moves like snow, so you gotta be really careful with it. There we go. That's cute. Yes. Alright, yeah, that's cute. And then I've put some stickers on this one already so that we can get started. We're gonna do it just the same way, but I will be fast about it. I would like this to be my last coat, but I can kind of still see through it, and so I'm like, should I keep going till I can't, or should I just accept it? Oh, I think we're running low. One sec, let me put some more. So that's the last of what I had mixed up. I think we are going to let it be. Once this dries, we'll peel it up. Alright, so when you're done using your airbrush, you want to make sure that you run acetone through it. I did two of these little things full of acetone and then some water as well. Now you can see that I just didn't do a really great job because I didn't want to mess up my nails, but there is paint leaking out. I just see this one here. I didn't even know that was there a moment ago. Probably want to disassemble this whole thing really because there's still paint in here. But remember, it gives you scrub brushes, so that's something I'm gonna have to do when my nails are super dry so that I don't mess them up, but at least run the acetone through it so it's not clogged. So now that these have had a moment, we're gonna go in with our smudge-free top coat. This bottle has the shortest little brush, but it's because they're like little minis. I got them in a 6-pack. Okay, so I've got those top coated in with the smudge-free. We have to wait for this to dry before we go in with our quick dry. Now when I say dry, I mean that word in a loose term. These are not final top coats. It is not a dry, but dry enough that I can put a real final top coat on. I'll be right back for that. Okay, this has dried enough for me to put the final top coat on. What are you guys thinking? I really like the way that looks. So that is them. What do you guys think? Do you like the design I went with? I really do. I don't always love the nails that I do, but I do love these. And what do you think of the airbrush? Do you like the way it worked? Do you like the effect? I am surprised, but pleasantly. Like, I think it's really cool how it actually does look like snow. That is convenient for this particular nail set. Now that's not always going to be the desired look, but I think that that's pretty cool that it just happened to work out that way. And I like how well these little decals worked to make the shapes stay in there. It is so cute. And I'm really glad that I did put glitter underneath instead of just a solid color, because that sparkle, it really just is doing it for me. I really love it. So thank you, Temu, for letting me pick out this item and do a review. And thank you to you guys for being subscribed, watching my videos, interacting with me, leaving me likes and comments. I do appreciate it all. Your interaction helps me, helps my channel grow, and it's fun. I like talking to you guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I am getting you photos outside. You may have already started seeing them, and I will finish them up here. So thank you again. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.